But yeah, I have been playing a lot of Monster Hunter. Before I dive into that, I have been playing some Ninjala. They recently did come out with their new season, and they came out with a new mode, Ninjala Strikers, which is basically Rocket League but with gum swords. So, yeah, yeah. I mean,
Oh,
everything in the every weapon in the game is made of gum, right? So, instead of cars or your hero abilities like you do in Overwatch because they have Lucio Ball or whatever, you are basically attacking this giant ball like 50 times your size with your swords and your weaponry and everything. And of course, you can still knock out the other players, which is what I like to do. I'm very much in the striker uh, mode of that
Hmm.
because then it creates openings for my team to then push the ball into the goal. And as I said last time, I do love creating those openings. So
Is this on the level of Mario Strikers in any way?
no,
Just
like
had to.
resounding no. Yeah,
Yeah.
no. I mean, if that game would come to the Switch, I mean, wait, March 31st was yesterday, right? What's happening to Mario? Is he like dead? Did they kill him?
They
Or like
still
for real,
haven't said
real?
anything.
He's dead.
Nintendo,
He died.
please! I gotta
yeah.
change my shirt because Nintendo is like not on it right now. Let me turn off my camera right quick. But no. Yeah, so I've been really enjoying that mode. It's a featured mode that comes every weekend or so, and they rotate out with the different modes. Sometimes they'll test new mechanics. Sometimes they will have like a zombie tag sort of thing where one of you is the Shinobi Beast Ultimate, and you convert other people into the Shinobi Beast by tagging them, and you lose your Zombie Beast status and become a regular kid again. And the one with the most points at the end wins. So it's really cool that they're, deviating like that and having all these other modes and whatnot. But Monster Hunter is the new wave. It's gonna take over my life. I already
It's
know
a
it is.
new wave.
It's the new wave. I got it day one because I pre-ordered like the commoners edition because I couldn't find the collector's edition anywhere. And then I decided that actually Carlos had shouted out on Party Invite on our Facebook that there's collector's editions available on Amazon. So I went and bought it and then I canceled it because I realized I didn't care about the physical stuff that came with it.
Believe that.
Like after you spend, wait a minute, I don't care.
I mean, I canceled, and it was on Amazon, so I got like my refund like immediately because they don't charge you until the shipment actually arrives at your doorstep, which is really nice.
Yep.
So I got the deluxe edition instead, and so I actually still have shoot, I thought I had my game cases around here somewhere. I actually still have the editions, like the regular edition here somewhere, unopened. So potential giveaway? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'll give it to Bowser. But I started playing it for the first time like 2 days ago. All that to say that, because even though it's been out for like a week, I haven't actually started it up until the other day. And I probably put 12 hours into it already, which is like,
Damn.
yeah, I get real obsessive real quick. But like 3 hours of that was customization, as is normal.
Mhm.
And 7 of those hours were captured on my stream. If you're interested into like what the onboarding is like, that's a real good place to go check it out. I go over the tutorials that they have there, which are pretty in depth with the new mechanics, because now you can ride monsters, which is really cool. And you can wall run and stuff, which I think migrated over from Monster Hunter Online before it was in Worlds. I'm pretty sure. I only just started playing during Generations, so I'm not like a veteran player. And that's also when I think they introduced the Insect Glaive, which is my main weapon. So I'm just like soaring through the air with the greatest of ease, on my insect trapeze. But then I also play the dual blades, which are just as graceful. I love speedy, dancy weapons because grace and elegance. Um, so yeah, I haven't done any plays with friends yet. I've been playing with strangers for the multiplayer quests, but I'm really looking forward to diving with people who are learning and also veterans too, because it's a really good way to maybe pick up some stuff that I didn't know, even learning from new players that they figure out before I do. So.
What can you tell me about this new mode or whatever they have in it? That's like almost like a tower defense situation.
Oh, so I haven't encountered that mode yet. I'm not far enough in the game, but I have seen it in action. Basically, you are defending like a specific location from like a horde of monsters that's like waves and waves, like typical tower defense. And you'll have different kinds of cannonade to choose from, which you will level up over the course of the mission. So you'll start off with your basic ballistas that shoot like rapid fire arrows and whatnot, and then you'll get like actual cannons, which will shoot like the heavy duty cannonballs, and so forth and so on. So it's pretty much a typical, tower defense mode in like anything where you have to protect the objective from waves of a thing. It does require immense coordination for what I'm seeing because,
Hmm.
like, if you slip up, it can snowball really quickly.
Huh. That's interesting. It just seems like such a departure from what they've been doing.
I mean, I do like when they add that kind of thing to third-person games. Like Sunset Overdrive had an awesome version of tower defense that I didn't expect until getting
Really?
into it. Um, and yeah, it was pretty much the same kind of thing. Like you really had to coordinate with your co-op team to make sure that all your zones were covered because if you let one zombie go, then it was done.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to play that part of Rise. That'll be fun.
I just don't know. It seems like a high rank mission considering how challenging it is. And high rank missions don't unlock until I think rank. It's either 4 or 5, but they go up to 7. So
Okay.
completing urgent quests, which you unlock by completing a certain amount of key quests, will allow you to like rank up so that you can tackle those harder missions. And when they ramp up, they ramp up because I was on rank 2, and then I took on my first rank 3 mission, and it concerned a monster that I had already slain like easily before. And this time it was just like, I actually fainted once. And I was like, oh. So it's like for real now.
By fainted, you mean died?
Well, I
In
didn't
the game,
die because
yeah.
you get 3, like if you faint 3 times, then you're actually like knocked out.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Like in real life.
Like how
Of
real
course.
life works.
Yeah, if I learned anything from Monster Hunter or Pokemon, it's just that you don't die, you just faint.
Yeah. Sleep it off.
Um, and Carlos, you've been playing it too, or not as much?
I just played 2 or 3 hours of it. It was enough to get through the tutorial section. I think it was the first 3 or 4 missions where you basically just kill the most basic boss and its little groupies of enemies. Nothing crazy, but as Debbie said, the customization options are really cool. It definitely feels like it's more my style than the past few Monster Hunters have been. I didn't really put a lot of time into World, so Rise is gorgeous. Like it's so pretty. It's so satisfying to have it on the Switch. I use a Pro controller for my playthroughs, so
Stuff.
it feels really good. I can't speak on anybody using Joy-Con, but the traversal and things like that feels really good with a Pro controller, and it's easily going to be one of those games that you sink 50 to 70 hours in, no problem.
No.
Yeah, and it's really accessible too. Like
Mhm.
it's I feel like it's easier than the last installments. Or not easier, but like more streamlined and like you don't spend as much time complicating yourself over like the minutia of everything. Everything
Yeah.
is more streamlined. Everything is like you can hop in and play. You can pick it up and play. Like
Mhm.
anyone who wants to start out in Monster Hunter, this is a perfect starting point. Even though it's been like such a long running series, but you don't need to play any of that to enjoy this at all. Just like if you want to play this like Monster Hunter, pick it up. It's good.
Exactly. Like I think Monster Hunter 3 was the last one I played on 3DS. Either 3 or 4 was the last one I played on 3DS. And when I jumped into it, it basically was like you have to have a friend with you because I was hitting the fucking boss monster for like 45 straight minutes, chased it like 2 or 3 different locations, and it was still not dead. In
Yeah.
Rise, it's a much different situation. The missions are still between 30 minutes to just under an hour, but it's way more accessible for sure.
And is this kind of blending? Because I'm not. I tried the world demo or the beta or whatever it was that they released for free, and it was like, I was like, oh, okay, so the combat feels cool because you're in like that little area where you get to hit all the dummies and stuff. And then when I got to like the actual game, I was like, okay, what now? I do what now? I just felt so confused and overwhelmed by here is everything. Hey, there's these cats. They cook you food.
Oh, man.
It just like it was too much for me to handle. But
Chris,
this,
that's how I felt when I picked up Dauntless. They're like, here's how you swing your sword. I'm like, okay, cool. They're like, here's how you use an ability. I'm like, that sounds great. They're like, here's this robust city with a million NPCs and things to talk to you about. And I'm just like, I was not ready for this. There's too much.
I
Draw
mean,
a
Rise's
couple of
setup is
circles.
easier.
Draw a
Yeah.
couple of circles. Now draw the rest of the fucking owl.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm guessing this is kind of because it's on the Nintendo Switch. I feel like it's probably kind of going back to what Monster Hunter used to be, and also trying to blend what World did so well, where it became, I think it was Capcom's highest selling game, wasn't it? Yeah.
I mean, I feel like it's that way overseas. It's definitely a lot of a bigger presence in Japan than it is here.
Yeah.
I don't think it really took off here until Generations hit the 3DS, and then that's when they realized, oh, we should start
Well,
bringing our stuff over
World
here.
sold like a zillion copies because
Yeah,
it like
it
got
was
people
stupid.
into it.
Yeah, it's definitely pretty, but I didn't get into that version because they didn't have my girl Mizutsune in it until later. But by then it was too late. I was already gone.
And the thing
Sorry.
is with this one, with all the monsters they put in this one, they are treating this like Monster Hunter definitive.
Yeah.
Like that's it.
And I
So
do believe that a PC version is coming in the future. That's what I'm
yeah,
Yeah, that's what
pretty
I
sure I
heard.
read. Yeah. So, I mean, with crossplay too, common between the Switch and PC. I think this is a really good place for any aspiring hunters to pick up the game.
And they haven't announced when that PC port is coming. I'm assuming it's going to be a little bit, but
Yeah, I haven't seen
I
any
bet
word of
like
it.
6 months easy.
yeah,
Yeah.
interesting.
Carlos, what weapon do you use?
I just use the basic sword that you start with. I have not delved deep into anything on that side of things. I took the time to make my my doggo yellow and pink. That was
Aw.
most of my playthrough.
Wait, so there's doggos now and not gatos?
You have both.
You
have
get
both.
you get cats and dogs, yeah. Palamutes and palicos. Yeah.
It's the cutest fucking thing.
They're
And
so cute.
they join you in the cutscenes, and it's so great seeing your customized one do things in the cutscenes. It's great.
And you can pet them, for those who are wondering.
Heck yeah.
You have to be able to. If a game doesn't let you pet the
It's not even
animal,
worth. No.
what is the point? Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I
feel you.
started thinking about the weapon I wanted to use in Monster Hunter World and how it was so confusing. It didn't make any sense. It's like this giant hammer club that you also like
Yes.
use as an instrument,
Oh, the hunting horn.
and it buffs people. And I was
It's
like,
badass.
this is kind of cool.
Sweet.
And then
That
like,
sounds awesome.
and then but like in practice,
complicated.
I'm like, what
Yeah.
the fuck is going on? I don't even understand how this works.
That's actually one of the weapons that they streamlined in Rise too. And actually, it's one of, if not the best weapons in the game right now. It's like SSSS tier. So, I mean, if you do end up getting a Switch, eventually, which you should, Chris, please, then Hunting Horn, I mean, right there, you know? And the tutorial is like really in depth and they'll explain everything. So, you shouldn't have the struggle that you did in World.
Yeah, because it was like in World, it's like, here's that weapon, go into the place and figure it out. Like, and here's some of the things it can do, but not like specifically explain why that's important.
Yeah, it's like whenever you choose any of the guns. There's either 2 or 3 guns in this one. I don't remember which ones. But it's like you want to get the long range, and you're like, hell yeah, I want to snipe some monsters. And then you get into the actual mission. You're like, oh, I can
Oh,
shoot
no.
like 3 times, and it takes like 5 minutes to do it. I don't know if I'm gonna do this. Am I built
Yeah.
for this? Like, no.